Welcome out to another episode of It's All Been Tracked Before. This time, the Magicks of Megas-Tu. Megas-Tu. You heard them say it. You're hearing me butcher it right now. You know that's what we're going to talk about here on It's All Been Tracked Before. Something else, it's new in the sense that it's the way I just said that in a new way. It's Life's Gummy. Yeah, it's a new photo comic from your old favorites, Nikki Smith and Jerome Wetzel. They put it together. It's a photo comic. You know what that means. It's a photo comic. Life's Gummy, and it's gummy bears are involved. So check it out. That's coming out just a couple days here on the IABD Presents network, IABDpresents.com. While we're talking about IABDpresents.com, how about going to patreon.com/IABD? Yeah, make that donation. You know, how do you think we can keep adding on this content? It's thanks to you. Go there, and the benefits, the bonuses just keep getting added on. So please, go to patreon.com. Support us right now. Also, the Squash Smashers. Speaking of things, they were new. Now it seems like they've been around for a long time. Squash Smashers. And you better be like, I've heard you say it, but what is it? Some say it's a scripted Red Decky hello from Magic Tavern. Others say other things, but don't listen to them. If you like your hijinks wacky and your sass extra sassy, then listen in as the simple podcast within a podcast about a paranormal investigator working out of a t-shirt kiosk in a rundown mall evolves into the tale of a Bigfoot hunter, a vampire, a killbot, and Elvis the Necromancer on the run from nefarious government forces and random cryptids in an enormous underground series of catacombs. What else do I have to say? Check out the Squash Smashers here on IBD Presents. And now check out the Magicks. The Magicks? Right? The Magicks of Megas-Tu on It's All Been Tracked Before.
Welcome out to another episode of It's All Been Tracked Before. The gang is back together.
This is Steven.
And you're Keith, still.
And I am Marianne.
Marianne's becoming quite the regular on this podcast.
Yes.
We like it. Keep
nice
coming
thing.
back.
Yeah.
I don't know how she keeps making it here so consistently.
I don't know.
So obviously we're here to discuss the Magicks of Megas-Tu, and that is -TU, not the number 2.
Or TOO also.
Yeah, it's not that. I mean, we're here to discuss the Magicks of Megas-Tu too, as well as
It was like French for you.
So this is the Enterprise and the Siren of the Universe, looking to see if they can see matter created. I thought matter was neither created nor destroyed.
Right.
Yeah, they pretty much said they're going back to the Big Bang, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
what they said?
Well, they said this is the center of the universe.
The
is where
creation
universe was
point.
created.
The creation point.
So matter might still be being created. There.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing to confirm one way or the other. Just go check it out.
And next time they go there, they'll find God. But this time they go there, they find the devil. Lucian.
Yeah, actually,
Lucy.
originally the writer wanted them to find God, but the NBC executives balked.
Can't imagine
Really?
why.
Yeah, and originally, I think this is the one I was thinking of last episode, that they originally, I think this might have been pitched for the live action, and the NBC executives were like, no, you can't talk God. And so they're like, well, maybe we can do it this time. Like, no, make him the devil, we're cool. Make him God. Although I do like the twist at the end where they're kind of like, hey, he's a life form. He's an intelligent life form. It's not as simple as him being a devil.
I mean, I definitely thought with Lucian and this look, and I know he's like a pan, but I definitely thought, oh yeah, this is the devil is at least implied in this character.
That's specious.
Ed Bishop was
He's not evil.
obvious.
He was Ed Bishop, best known for 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, really? Who was he in that?
The
One of the apes?
Ares 1B Lunar Shuttle
Oh, okay.
something.
All right.
He's got a bunch of credits. His voice sounded very familiar. Jimmy Doohan did Lucian, and I thought it was one of Jimmy Doohan's better voices.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was Jimmy
Freelancers,
Doohan.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't immediate like some of his characters. I'm like, oh, it's Jimmy Doohan again. No, that one was a little different.
Unlike the demons that floated through when they're rainbows, we were like, oh, is that George Takei? Oh,
It's got to
yes,
be, but
obviously.
IMDb doesn't have that credit.
No, yeah, it doesn't have it. But
it had to be.
It's very obvious that was just...
Or somebody doing a George Takei impression.
I'm overacting.
Yeah, you guys all called me apologists for what's his face last week?
Caniclius.
Caniclius.
Yeah.
I think in terms of covering up and protesting too much, I think Sulu imagining the woman through magic was his line.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gay, even though he would have been.
Only with Sulu would a beautiful woman turn into a muscular naked man.
That's what he really
Yeah,
wanted.
he turned into Lucian.
Yeah.
And I was like, you
Although
are
maybe
the
because
big
it was
man.
magic, we saw a beautiful woman, but he saw
Yeah.
the guy the whole time.
I mean, according to the new movies, it's been retconned that Sulu's gay.
Yeah.
And that makes sense to me, and so now I just assume Sulu's gay, and when I see something like this, I'm like, wait a second, why has he got a woman? I don't know. Maybe it was an Asian woman, so maybe he was making like his mother or his sister who he missed appear so he could talk to her.
I feel that it could have been transgendered. Maybe he likes...
Oh, that's a...
Interesting. He might be into, I
can see that.
more feminine men. Could be. Transgendered. I don't know.
This episode just got better.
Yeah. Let's discuss all of this.
So my first thing was when as soon as Lucian appeared, every other word was "my friends," and I was like, "Oh no!"
I kind of liked that.
This is bad. Whenever someone calls you "my friend" that much, something bad is going to happen. And
in the last episode, didn't they call them our friends? Or am I missing? I'm missing my episodes. Sorry.
I don't recall.
I don't remember that. And then there was a difference between the way Kirk said Lucian and everyone else said.
It wasn't everyone else. There were multiple people on both sides.
So,
Lucian or Lucian.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really stark when Kirk called him Lucian, and then Spock immediately in the next line
afterwards
said Lucian.
I'm like, oh no, God.
Yeah, that was rough. I mean, we discussed. We're pretty sure they recorded them at separate times, but for the animation or for the overall effect, I think this may have been the worst animated episode we've seen so far. The mistakes were so numerous. Whether it was the line appearing on the floor before Spock drew it, like right before he drew it, or whether it was people were being rearranged in the stocks or Spock back in the stocks while he was leading the talking. There was when Kirk was in the witness stand, his one hand was hovering above the rail.
Oh, you saw that too. Yeah,
in the ones, but like there was just so many weird animation things that were wrong.
Kirk on the bridge, and then when everything got shook up, they showed a Kirk in the aisleway of one of the Enterprise things.
That was just somebody that looked like him.
Exactly, but it looked just like Kirk, and I was like, "What is he doing there?" Wait, what?
I did like the shots of the hallways and things like the original series, and we actually saw like chapel down in the hallway.
We saw everybody fall for the first time.
Right, on another episode we talked about how nobody was falling in these new ones, and now finally
they fall.
we need to fix that.
Yeah.
They actually got some more animation, and the falling wasn't the problem in my opinion.
No.
But there were so many mistakes.
They're pulling up a lot of old names for this, and a lot of demon names, and are we Megan really?
I put in Megan's. All Megans, all people named Megan are from Megas, apparently. That's
What's
Megan.
that? What
as well.
What is Megas-Tu? What's the significance? Or
No, there is none. Really,
Megan,
it's just,
pagan.
Oh, I didn't even get that.
Oh wow, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, because they did magic. The Megans went to Earth, and then they were sent away because.
I didn't get the pagan connection.
I thought it was just funny because of the name
did.
Megan. But.
Yeah,
I thought it was Mega-Stew, like disco stew.
There was some serious 70s stuff going on.
Oh, there was.
Music. And...
I will say that I did appreciate a lot of the trippy imagery in this episode.
Yeah, it seemed like this is like, hey, let's make one for the stoners so they can get high and then watch our...
On Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Who would ever do such a thing?
Animators.
Yeah.
So Lucian, if you Google him, there's nothing that comes up as like a direct reference, but Asmodeus does come up as the king of demons, or in Judeo-Islamic lore, the king of earthly spirits.
Well, I was
known as the
immediately...
Jinn.
I was taking
Jinn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lucian immediately as Lucifer, because I
Sure.
just assumed so. I was like,
That's
okay,
what I
so
did.
they're
Kinda
doing
what I
the top
thought, too.
three.
Well, because didn't they say, think about it. Doesn't it sound like something else?
I was like,
we get it.
Yes, we got it, guys. We got it.
Yeah.
The imagery, we got it.
We're smart. You don't have to tell us. Well, I guess for kids, because it's Saturday morning cartoon.
Idiots.
Kids are dumb.
So, like...
I've heard the
Hi,
name,
kids.
I've heard the name Lucian in other places I can't place right now for other characters.
I mean, they're...
that become demons, mostly.
Right, that was going to be
that's the
Lucifer.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Lucifer, Asmodeus, and then there's one other that are the three kings of hell in lore. So
Asmodeus sounds like something you take if you're with diarrhea.
Yeah. There's a board game company called Asmodee, which I also wrote down to shorten it.
I thought you were about to say you also rolled your eyes for it.
He is one of the 7 princes of hell.
There's also a rapper called Cool Modi.
Yeah.
According to the 7 demons, Lucifer is pride, Asmodeus is lust.
There's
We have
Beelzebub there,
Mammon is
probably.
greed, Leviathan is envy, Beelzebub is gluttony, Satan is wrath, and Belphegor is sloth.
I had no idea that they had those correlations
Well.
like that, though. I just.
Of the 7 deadly sins, the
Yeah.
7 demons, yeah.
How about that?
According to Binsfeld, whoever Binsfeld is.
So Lucian, whenever he appeared, he always had a jaunty stance, or the camera always
Yeah.
went a little akimbo each time.
Yes.
that-
Kimbo. I haven't heard
Like
that word.
Batman villain hideout.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Turn to the side, yeah.
He was animated like an action figure, though, where his chest moved independently from his stomach, like it went up and
Oh,
down.
yeah.
And then later I noticed his arms were also separate pieces.
Wait, is that not normal?
No!
They're skipping right to the toys. It's like,
I
hey,
should probably
look at
see a
this.
doctor.
I bet Shatner was real jealous he had his shirt off the whole time,
Yeah.
and Shatner Kirk had to keep his
time.
shirt on.
I did notice in the scene where Shatner goes in the tornado and he can't talk or whatever, or, well, he was talking through his fist.
Where his chin wasn't moving, so he
Yeah,
wasn't really
from
talking.
far away with his, they drew him with his uniform over, but with pecs and abs. Yeah. Not like Lucian, but still.
Lucian.
Sorry.
Lucian.
Caniculus.
Whatever you say, I'm going to correct it.
I liked,
Caniculus. Tomato.
I liked when they did when the guy said, "Here's my evidence of how bad humans are," and it was
Here we go,
and
yeah.
it was punch cards and tape reels that were flying
Oh,
at him.
that's
I
funny.
was
Yeah.
like, "Yes,
That was pretty
that's
funny.
forward thinking right there."
Well, then they remember. Well, no, they left Earth before those things, so who knows what that was.
Yeah.
Well, the whole origin story of the Megas-Tus? I just thought they were like, because they're like, well, we were on your Earth, but people tried to use our power to take over, and they cast us out or whatever they happened. It's like, why wouldn't you guys just take over? But I figured it was like the Adonis. Remember when Adonis was like, oh, I wanted to stay there and I had to leave? Because Adonis had magic powers,
Sure.
pretty much. So
Adonis was probably one of them, and he just separated.
That's
Didn't
what I
he
think.
say like the people left him behind?
yeah.
So these were his people,
Yeah.
probably. That
And
makes
then
sense.
either them or, well, the Squire Gothos never went to Earth, right?
No.
He just loved looking
he
at it.
could look at it from
Telescope.
afar. Yes.
His super telescope.
Yes.
Very good.
I like that Bones, when they're losing oxygen and he's dying, his last words are great because it's what he does every time. We've got to do something. And then he dies, meaning you guys need to do something. He's saying we, but he means you guys need to.
He is the complainer.
He surely is not going to do anything. And he's just like, yep, I'm out. I'm dying.
I really like that. Well, I don't like. There's not enough oxygen on the ship. As soon as it gets turned off, they're immediately dying.
Right,
I'm like,
right.
wait a minute.
Yeah, we've seen other canon
There's an entire
examples of.
There are big leaks in that ship. As soon as you stop pumping oxygen in,
It's like-
it just shoots right out. Yeah.
Okay, Asmodeus actually was animated better than the others.
He was.
He
Yeah.
actually had facial expressions where his eyes got bigger, and he actually like his whole face changed. Instead
Sometimes
of just,
too big.
Instead of just this, yeah, because when his eyes would get bigger, they just be giant black orbs
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
like, this is an expression.
Well, was he the one that said, look upon my countenance to understand what he was trying to tell you?
Yeah.
I'm going to use that with Colleen. Look upon my countenance, Colleen, and you'll understand.
You tell me how well that goes.
I think you can all
You have to point like that too while you're doing it. Look upon my.
I better have my magic powers. I also have both my arms sticking straight out.
The magical showdown
Yes.
where Spock was like, "Use your
Your
power."
magic, yeah.
And I'm like, what?
We missed the
Spock-
montage scene where
yeah.
Kirk learned all that.
Because
Well, they were all learning it on the bridge of the Enterprise, remember?
Stick your arms out like you're a mummy
Hail Hydra.
or a sleepwalker.
Yeah.
In a comedy.
A little bit of both too. Then I think Hydra's technically the fists, but still,
Yeah.
that looks very
No.
strange the way they kept doing that.
Yeah, I thought they were straight ahead. Like,
All
I'm
Magicks-
so tired. I'm
A
sleepwalking.
couple people did do like it was inconsistent. You had a couple like diagonal, and then
As you would see.
yeah. Oh, that's
I
true.
like the one guy with the little tiny mustache had just one eye.
I was waiting for that one. Where
I was waiting for one of you guys to get there.
the thing that got me was, if I'm going to test magic out, the place I'd want to do it was on the bridge.
Oh no, be in my quarters.
I'd be like,
That'll be
This
our
is-
alternate episode. We'll get to that.
this is where I'm going to practice, because there's nothing important at all that could go wrong if I'm just practicing magic here.
Sure.
Eject. Yeah,
Right.
a pod is gone right then.
I
Just
And again, once again, Star Wars, Star Trek, use the
Yeah.
magic instead of force.
I thought like,
This
right
came
away.
before
something-
Star Wars.
Yeah,
It
that's what I'm
is,
saying.
So Star Wars ripped off Star Trek again.
Yep.
Yet another way.
Lucas is watching this episode. I was like, wait, man.
If I could just change that one word.
Yeah, this episode probably is why you have Star Wars. Just saying.
He probably ripped up whatever he was doing. Like, rewrite.
Marianne just made such a pain expression.
I mean, props to this episode being made.
Jim.
Well, and I think one of you guys said as soon as they left, it's like, all right, well, we're done with magic. We should never use that again.
We should never, ever,
Yeah.
Well, I think once they left that center place, they didn't have the magic to draw upon.
I will say, and I've mentioned this before, is like I hate it when we get into the magic things or whatever and the rules kind of thing. Like actually, we talked about it on our special Freaky Friday episode. It's like, oh, what are the rules? And it's like, in this one, I kind of felt like they were like, it kind of made sense in a weird way that, okay, they can do
This
magic.
one planet can do
Yeah,
magic.
yeah.
Yes.
That made sense.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. But then saying people in the Enterprise can do it also.
Right. Yeah. I just.
Well, they figured it out.
But they were above that cloaking thing that they kept saying.
Right.
They can't see us up here. So they shouldn't be able to do it just because they had the knowledge to it. Like,
Speaking of people ripping off Star Trek, I feel like the Megas-Tu planet in this had to be the inspiration for the IHOP in The Good Place.
I thought they looked like Red Hots.
That could be.
Yeah.
But the IHOP, the International
Whole
of pancakes in IHOP, or in The Good Place, where it's the place between heaven and hell,
Yeah.
the good place and the bad place, where you go and you just like grab a pancake from the air and now you're like in a totally different looking thing, but you're still beholden to the rules of physics from where you actually are.
Okay.
So like when he said, I'm going to adjust it for your eyes, and they were in the tree clearing, I'm like, oh, it's the IHOP.
Early on in the episode, one of the things that I noticed was when Lucian showed up, which I wasn't expecting the appearance, and it was just like, that was like the second most surprising thing. The first, of course, being Lincoln, just showing up like right in space and kind of going, I was like,
that's
what the...
Once you've seen Lincoln, Lucian's not that surprising.
That's a good parallel because this ends up being a Savage Curtain episode where at the end it's like, this was a test.
Oh my god.
Why didn't you just talk to the rock guy? or the Telosians? Come on. How do you people not know each
or
other?
any of the other people that have tested us.
You're all superior beings. How do you guys not go to the same high school? How did that not happen?
Because they're all so superior, they don't even worry
think.
about the other ones. Yeah, they're so self-involved.
Stop testing humans if you're so superior.
so that I have the test question mark sigh because That's my-
You and I both do. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
When Q does it, it's good. I
All right.
promise.
Yeah.
They finally get it right after all these failed attempts.
Wait, Steve, have you not seen the Q episodes of things?
I have, but not in a long time. So I'm familiar with him, but I've heard of this Z character. I'm a big fan of hers.
Oh yeah, she's awesome,
really
isn't she?
I'm kind of hoping she can be on for a Q episode at some point.
That would be
but-
awesome. The thing that I don't like about the test episodes is it's such a trope in Star Trek of all things that I think we've spoken about,
Yeah.
both that you just spoke about, but I was just like, it's a trope in a lot of sci-fis where they obviously got it from here, and it's just very frustrating, and I'm always like, you get to the end and they're like, this was just a test. It's like you almost killed a lot of people for a test. It's like,
It seems like there's better ways.
yeah, if you're so freaking enlightened,
Superior. Right. Yeah.
how is this your idea of putting us in stocks and going back to Salem?
I didn't understand that entire
I didn't
part of it,
either.
other than the witches analogy and all that. But I will say, while we're talking about Sulu and being into trans people, the bondage in the Salem scene, you know.
Sulu
Strikes
was
me a little
really
bit
having a
harder.
good week.
Well, because I wasn't that interested, and I'm like, Salem. And then there was a blonde Yale man. Okay.
I wondered
In a
about this. Like
skirt.
they brought
Yeah,
it's like
I
mean,
saw
so
that.
much.
I
they brought
saw-
everybody.
There were two across from each other, and I was like, all right. And Uhura was there, and I'm like, all right.
Make eye contact.
Yeah.
It'd be so much better
Look
if
at
the
each
blonde was
other.
putting me in the stock.
You got me a little more interested now.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Look at each other. All right. Yep. Now
All right,
cry
now-
a little, just a little bit, just a little.
Yeah.
Not enough to make me sad, but enough to like make me think that you want it.
Wow.
Apologies to parents.
All right, now let the tears dry and then lick your lips a little bit.
the center of creation. Whatever they said.
What other notes you got?
Why was there a conquistador?
In the middle of the
In
Salem? I
Salem.
wonder that too.
What the
They had
hell?
left over from another episode.
That's what I thought.
Well, there was the point where they like first went to the forest and we saw like the gypsy woman, and,
Right.
and I'm like, okay, so these are characters from another animated
Right,
series that
right.
wandered in.
Totally different. Like
Oh, right,
She-Ra is what
Oh,
keeps
yeah, yeah,
likened her back
yeah.
to.
Like decades before it too, which is kind of, well, not decades, but 10, 15 years at least.
Decades before
Yeah.
1972.
Before She-Ra, yeah.
Oh, She-Ra didn't come around until
Mid 80s, mid to late 80s.
Okay. Well, She-Ra took it from this,
And Shakira was in the 90s, right?
Yes.
but her hips
Didn't lie.
didn't lie.
Did not.
If only her hips were president instead of Trump.
Oh, wow.
This episode has produced more tangents than any other animated episodes.
By the time this episode comes out, we air this
Don't worry
episode,
about
Trump will have been impeached, right?
Yeah, undoubtedly. Yeah.
So I have a few things here. At the beginning, I noticed I had to start making myself pay attention because I said if I glanced away for even like a few seconds,
Yeah.
I'd look back and I'm like, what the hell just happened? What did they do? Why?
I had a Zoe in my face for a few times, and every time she'd like lean away, I'd be like, I have no idea what's happening.
This was definitely an episode where, and obviously we thought a lot about it, but you really couldn't do that. You could just had to go with the flow, which I don't think any of us were able to. But
Yeah.
so I think looking away, looking back, and something else weird happening is like, okay, let's go with this.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I enjoyed this episode. I wouldn't say it's a good episode, but I enjoyed this episode. It was fun.
Yeah.
I did like the end where they saved Lucifer, and
He's been kicked out twice, but only once has he been saved.
yes, and sigh on that. But I did like that if he was the actual Lucifer, that he actually was given a shot. I always loved.
I
those
did like
types
that
of things.
the
Yeah.
concept of, well, he's intelligent.
He's an intelligent being.
We don't care.
You'd send
Yeah.
him some.
Yeah.
It could have been Lucifer 3.
And which I guess I like the idea of them saying you can call someone the devil or whatever. It's like, this is,
A living being, right?
it's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that idea because the thing that they were offering for him was solitary confinement forever, and not being able to do anything about it.
And not really stated very clear. I mean, not very clunkily stated, very awkward.
I would say the entire episode was completely stated.
Yeah. I was. I would say that there were a lot of things about this episode that were just sort of inconsistent as far as there were some points where I was like, oh, I really like the animation, or I really like the visual of this, and then it just nope.
And then
we're going to go over here, and the voice acting, especially toward the end, it was the weirdest thing for Kirk especially. That should have been like one of his like bread and butter moments. That bit where he was on the stand at the beginning, and like ready for the Bill of Rights or whatever to just like go right in there. Just, and he was sort of like distracted. It sounded like it was the weirdest thing. And
It was not his best read as far as I mean, and that's something that you think that Shatner would just like eat up. Like,
Yes.
oh, you've got your meat and butter right there, bread,
meat-
butter,
Potatoes,
bread and potatoes.
bread and potatoes,
Yeah.
meat and bread.
whatever that saying is. Put it together in your head,
But
and there you got it.
so the longer the trial went on, especially with
Sticks and cuts.
as the longer it went on, Asmodeus, it seemed like it was getting more like it was more improvisational. It sounded like I was thinking of like interdimensional cable from Rick and Morty. It was like they're kind of like, oh, and this thing, and you're going to go and stay here forever alone.
You're right. It was like a bad improv scene in the sense it was like, oh yeah, well I'm just gonna do this and go over here. You didn't know I could do this. What? Of course I didn't know that. Why would I know that? It's magic. That's my problem with magic.
Any other notes? Or jump to the rankings.
Keep.
I did look up Ed Bishop from 2001. He is the pilot of the shuttle. So there's this picture or scene where he comes back and talks to, but the guy who does the speech at the very beginning of 2001. So that's who Ed Bishop is, who played.
I feel like some voice actors in the 90s and aughts that I listened to have imitated him.
Oh, huh.
I don't know, the voice sounded familiar.
Interesting. Yeah. Alternate episode is this episode is Doug Henning versus David Copperfield. It's real magic versus magic, not this made up hullabaloo.
So which?
Phony baloney.
So Doug Henning is real? You're saying, or
Yes, Doug Henning is.
Doug Henning is a
TV.
real person, or he was a real person. He's
I mean, he had real
nothing
magic.
there. What's that?
Doug Henning had real magic.
I saw him at Wittenberg University, and it was real. It looked real.
My alternate episode is obviously Hermione and I get a room.
I had a couple things I thought it was interesting that, well, let me just get the less interesting thing out of the way first. Megas reminded me of a cartoon I really liked, which was a good, very solid sci-fi satire, which is Megas XLR. I don't know, maybe they got that from this. I noticed that Spock was drawing his magic diagram was more like a pentagon with X's inside of it. Maybe they weren't allowed to do like a real pentagram or something, or a pentacle. Any thoughts on that? So they didn't put like an actual
Censors were real rough back
Yeah,
then.
I would imagine it was like, which is a
I
thing
You
that
can't have
should
a
look at.
pentagram.
Yeah.
You could do a quadrigram, not a pentagram. Pentagram.
I missed that it was a pentagram.
Yeah.
Well, it was a
wasn't a
pentagon with a
pentagon.
star
With
inside
a
it. So-
pentagram in
Yeah.
the middle of the
Yeah.
pentagram. Yeah.
Oh, so they did a thing around it and not
Yes.
a circle?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
I missed that totally.
That's a 5-pointed star.
Ranking men, women of Star Trek.
I'm sticking with Norrin.
That's your third episode in a row.
Wow.
I'm sticking with the tentacle monster.
Vandorian?
Yep.
Keith?
There's Golden Ward 3.
Oh God! I said you couldn't do this. I said you couldn't do this.
There weren't any better options.
But for now.
Yeah.
You just can't do it all season. That's all. Where do we want to rank this episode? I have a feeling I would have put it higher than you guys, so I will let
I
you
think you were
speak first.
correct. I joked at the beginning before the recording that talking about it might change Marianne's mind about the. You don't think it was more enjoyable than? I mean, it's quality-wise. Certainly, there were problems that I think.
I mean, I'm not putting it at the top of the list, but I wouldn't put it at the bottom either.
What's
Give
the
me
worst
the
one?
middle.
Well, yeah, what is the bottom?
The middle. Let's just go the middle. The exact middle right now is more tribbles, more troubles.
And right below that,
One of our planets is missing.
It just never even sounds like an episode title when you say that. It sounds like a non sequitur. By the way,
They've
one of
got
the planets is
some
missing.
weird episode titles.
Was that the cloud one?
One of our planets is missing is
How quickly we forget.
Robert Wesley. The Enterprise encounters a giant cloud. Yes, that consumes planets on its path.
I feel like I would put that below the more troubles,
Yes.
but above the
Really?
cloud.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
I just
What do you
remember
think,
not liking one of our planets is
Steven?
missing.
The only reason I'm reflecting positively on the Lorelei signal is the blonde who ran the blondes. It was a planet of beautiful blondes, but that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I didn't like the cloud one that much either. I can live with this.
Keith?
Yeah, I mean, it says it about right.
Okay.
Under triples above. I want to change my mind because of Marianne's celebration dance there.
This is where I would have put it on my own. I thought you guys were going to force me to go lower.
No,
So-
No, I wouldn't put it any lower than that.
Okay, so
It was fun. It wasn't.
It
great
was. I
by
mean,
any
we
means, but-
laughed a lot, and
Sure.
the only thing that got me was the end with the "it's a test," and I'm just like,
I think Steven said this was their attempt to do Cat's Paw better, and I would say they
Yeah.
did it about the same.
Yeah.
It just ranks higher because the season's inferior.
Not enough cats. But
That's true. If it had some cats, if it had Morass
Sorry,
even,
cats.
you know. Well, next week, Once Upon a Planet. This one we return to the amusement park planet from the episode Shore Leave. Alice and the White Rabbit are back, and now they find the computer which generates the planet's sophisticated robots is running amok, and the caretaker is nowhere to be found.
So it's the same episode essentially.
Yeah, my guess, except now they'll know there's a caretaker, but the caretaker's missing, whereas before they just didn't know there was a caretaker.
so it's time to get
One of
Scooby
my
and the gang back
caretakers
together.
is missing.
I'm assuming that we won't get the yellow-feathered showgirl back, because this was Saturday morning
Or
cartoon.
Ruth.
Yeah, I don't care about
Maybe.
Ruth. Yellow-feathered showgirl was my girl for a while of Men, Women of Star Trek.
You've always been the caretaker here.
I think it's not at all surprising they revisit the Shore Leave planet on the
No,
animated
it makes
series.
sense.
What's surprising to me is none of the other Star Treks have revisited the Shore Leave planet.
Because they made the holodeck essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But we don't know
That's a
when
good
yet. do we?
point.
But the
Maybe
holodeck-
Discovery should go there, though. Although if they did, then Kirk would have already known.
Oh, that's true.
This almost feels like too important a question to ask right now. But has it ever been established exactly when the holodecks were invented?
I don't know about established. They were definitely on starships by Next Gen, and there have been some novels. I know I read a novel where Kirk was testing the holodeck back on Earth, and he had to wear all this heavy equipment to go in it. So that was like their bridge,
Okay.
We'll get to the holodeck. I know Nick keeps wanting me to put the holodeck in Universe Journey, and I'm like, I don't want to put the holodeck in Universe Journey.
I think there needs to be some sort of analog to it that is
Not now.
almost
Maybe down the road.
ridiculously not quite it or something, but
Someday. Not anytime soon.
I think we talked about the short-lived episode, but essentially Fantasy Island, the 70s show, was short-lived.
Sure.
Yeah.
Every week. It was like, oh, this planet, you can get where this violin, you can get wherever you want. Oh, something went wrong. It was literally short-lived every week. Except with,
Universe Journey already did our short-lived episode.
with different guest stars.
I feel like it was probably the PG version of what that would be like in real life, certainly.
Until next time, we will be back with Once Upon a Planet. Until then, live long and, prosper.
With tentacles.
Let's just cut the whole tentacle conversation. And now he's left this in. And
We're going to be like, what?
Well, Patreon then.
Live long in Patreon.
It's All Been Done presents.
Who's got the time?